Hi everyone, this is Andrew Bart again and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you a product that I actually tested yesterday to make sure it was decent before I started telling everybody about it. I'm going to say it's organic. I think it's organic. One of the ingredients may not be considered organic, but it is considered pet safe, human safe, and fairly eco-friendly. Okay? So what I have here is a problem with my weeds. I've had multiple problems. So the first problem I had was that there were a bunch of dead spots in my yard, so I killed off the weeds. And then I let my grass go to seed, mowed that. And then now, where of course that grass has gone into my garden and gone into my blueberry bushes and all my mulch, seeds are starting to sprout. So I wasn't using preen. I need to be using that, but I need a way to kill the weeds off, okay, without having to weed my garden and my yard, twice a week for the next 4 months of my life. So what I stumbled upon was this recipe for a vinegar-based weed killer. Now, what you'll see online, a lot of people say mix the vinegar with salt and a little soap and some water. I leave the salt out, okay? If you leave the salt out, it'll still kill the weed off, but it won't poison the ground, which salt will. Salt will, again, salting the ground, it's a biblical term, which will keep things from growing again. So I make it with just vinegar, dish soap, and water, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So what I'm using is this industrial strength, so to speak, vinegar. This is 45% vinegar by volume. Now, what we need to kill a weed off in a few hours is about 20%, 15, 25% in that range. So I'm basically going to dilute this down 1-to-1 with water, and that'll cut it down to 22.5% vinegar. A little bit of soap, and then I'll show you outside. Well, actually, I'm gonna put a little time lapse up in the corner. It's probably already playing. I don't know why I said probably. I'm the guy who does the editing. I know whether it's gonna be playing right now. Anyway, so I'm gonna show you how to mix this up, and we're gonna go out in the garden, spray a couple weeds out, and then I'm gonna let you see the time lapse of how this thing actually works and how quickly it kills off. And then once I kill the weeds off in between my plants, now I'm very careful on this. You don't want to spray it on the plants you want to keep. If it makes contact with the plant, it will kill off at least that section of the plant, depending on how big it is. You don't want to get it on the roots, especially the feeder roots, if you have like trees and trees that are starting to take now, like young trees. If you have blueberry bushes that are starting to take now, you don't want to get it into the feeder root system of the trees. So when I said earlier that this is I don't know, organic, but definitely a safe kind of thing, what I was talking about, I know the vinegar is going to be out of the soil within a couple of days. It should evaporate off. The soap is what I don't know the technical basis for. I don't know if it's or considered organic, but I know it is safe. Obviously, we'll wash our dishes with it all the time. So what we'll do, we take a little sprayer, okay? We've got our 1 gallon mark, and we got our half-gallon mark. So there's our 2, 1.5, 1.5. So I'm going to pour half a gallon of vinegar, of the industrial strength vinegar. And you can use, don't get me wrong, you can use straight vinegar that you buy to cook with and have in the home and all that. The problem is that vinegar is only 5%. So you either have to distill it down to make it stronger, or if you really soak the plant, you can still kill the plant off. But I've heard that it takes several days to show any results. And I'm afraid that if I put that much into the soil, some of it's going to leak into my other plants. So I'm using the industrial stuff that I know will kill in a few hours. I don't have to use as much. That's the kicker. So we're going to fill this up half a gallon. Okay, so we got half a gallon of vinegar in there. We're going to put if you want to get technical, it's going to be a tablespoon's worth, roughly, of dish soap. What this does is keep the vinegar on the plant. It basically just acts as like kind of like a binding agent. So when you spray the plant, it doesn't just run off. It actually stays on there because this is a little sticky. So I just give it a little squirt. Okay. This is the exact recipe I used earlier, so I know it works. And we're going to give it some water. That's all. Nice and simple. Nice and easy. If you go a little over a gallon, it's not going to hurt anything because, again, yeah, we're a little over the gallon mark. Because, again, anywhere from 15 to 25% is going to be effective. So don't kick yourself too much if you go off. We're going to take this, give it, I don't want to shake it because it's got soap in it, but a nice little back and forth, just to make sure the soap is kind of mixed into the solution. It's all nice and even, very simple, very easy, very courteous. Okay, so we'll take this and we're going to take it outside, and then I will see you outside. So here's my garden here. As you can see, we've got a lot of good things growing, but we have a lot of grass. And part of the problem is, of course, the seeds I was telling you about before, the grass just coming out of the lawn. But part of it is we made a mistake of tilling before we planted. And it has killed us. I mean, you should have seen it before we got through here yesterday. Man, it was ridiculously covered in grass. So I want to show you the end result here real quick. I know I'm going to have the time lapse going in the corner, but I sprayed these guys yesterday. See that grass there? They're done. With so far no noticeable effects against my blueberry bushes. Now again, I stayed away from the, oh, there's a good example right there. See how it's partly green, partly yellow? I need to get more of the tops of him with that vinegar solution next. Kill off the rest of it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and set you up and watch me spray this thing out. Be very careful to keep it off the plants that I want, like I said before. And let me set this tripod up here. This very cheap tripod that just broke on me. We're going to get these guys sprayed. And then we're going to time lapse one. See how quickly this thing actually does work. Okay, so I've already pumped this up. We're going to get these guys right here out on the edge. The ones coming through my bricks. Remember, you've only got a gallon of this. That industrial vinegar is not cheap. So I'm going to use it just in areas where, like, I want to kill off that blackberry right there. I want that blackberry gone. I want that blackberry gone too. We're going to get rid of him. But keep it definitely off. That little morning glory, gone. Keep it off my asparagus plant. Be very careful. There's some broccoli right here. Take them out. And then I'm going to get into my patch here. Okay, so that's it. We're done. There's a few plants that I missed in here, but you know what? We got the majority of them with a gallon. So we'll go ahead and set up the time lapse here. See if we can't pick a nice plant. They got a good soaking. Some of them are already turning yellow. And we'll go from there. Okay.